Dr Liam Fox.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and may I commend you for ensuring that new backbenchers are able to take part in the debate at such an early stage. I begin by echoing the objections raised by the Leader of the House on constitutional grounds to this motion. I believe that denying the executive the right to uniquely institute legislation is fraught with danger. And I think that many of the debates and some of the changes that we've seen in Parliament in recent times show the fragility of a system that is based on convention, and whether we want to or not is propelling us down the route towards a written constitution, which is something none of us should want to do without taking due care and attention. But my main objection, Mr Speaker, is political. Now, the honourable lady, who is no longer in her place, the member for Warrington North, raised the tension that we have effectively between a public who voted to leave the European Union and a Parliament which, let's face it, if it had its way freely, would want to remain in the European Union. Now, I don't doubt for a moment the legitimacy, the legal legitimacy of a sovereign Parliament to make laws as it sees fit. What I do doubt is the moral legitimacy of a Parliament that called a referendum, promised to honour the result of that referendum, and then 3 years later still has not done so. Now, my right honourable friend, the member for Dorset West, said that we've all made our own different judgments. Some have voted for a deal unenthusiastically. I have to say that I number myself among those who had strong reservations but felt it was the best way to move forward. Some have voted against the deal because they want there to be no deal as the outcome. And some have voted against the deal because they want there to be no Brexit at all. And it's that latter group that I just want to address one or two questions, because this is about the political reputation of Parliament itself. Those who have had a premeditated campaign to try to thwart the Brexit result itself, hiding behind the arguments that it's just the deal that they are opposed to, do themselves, Parliament and politics no credit at all. And that position is worsened if they stood at the general election on a manifesto that explicitly said they would honour the result of the referendum, but they themselves had absolutely no intention of doing so. That, I think, will result in the contempt of voters, and for those particular members who have taken that path, I look forward to their meeting with their voters when we get to the next general election, whenever that comes. I'm concerned, Mr Speaker, about where this places us in EU negotiations. To be successful in a negotiation, both sides have to regard it as providing mutual self-interest. This does not do this. This process will cast us in the role of supplicants, taking control not back to this House, but to the European Union negotiators. That is not in our national interest. We, in this political bubble, very often argue about the process and the minutiae and fail to see the big picture, which is what our voters are looking at. We didn't ask for an opinion from voters, we asked for an instruction. We said we would honour it, and we are honour-bound to do so. And I urge colleagues not to cast their vote tonight with the coalition of chaos, for that will be the result. Delay will follow delay. It is time, one way or another, to deliver Brexit. And I make one further point. One of our senior French colleagues said to me, "Liam, you need to leave the European Union following your referendum." A senior pro-European politician. He said, "The problems of political fragmentation in France began when we did not honour the result of the referendum on the European Constitution. It was the beginning of the end of the major parties and the beginning of the rise of the political fringe." Mr Speaker, I fear that if we go down the path that is being suggested tonight, we will be opening up a chasm of distrust between Parliament and the British people. It is something that will play only into the hands of the political fringes, and that is something we will all come to regret.